Town Talker, Reverend Zechariah Jackson.
Well, you know, it's good coming to you today. After all that cold weather last night, I was working out in it. And I tell you, it was something else to be out there in that cold weather. You know, the work that I do, the truck froze. I jumped out the truck, you know. And it's just something, you know, as we come into the spring, I think, what, next month is spring, Brother West?
Keep our fingers crossed.
Keep your fingers crossed that it come anyway, right? I remember in 2005, I don't know what I was thinking. I drove my motorcycle down to Daytona Beach, Florida, and I left the 5th of October thinking that spring had already come. So I wasn't sure, you know what I mean? And as I got down, we were dropping down, you know, from Washington into Virginia, and then I realized, I said, you know what? I think spring is a few more weeks away. You know, it was the 5th. I said, you know, I can hit a snowstorm. I had to lock the bike up so we wouldn't even be able to drive the bike. So it was good, you know, to, you know, just to bring.
It's Saturday where we may get a touch of spring.
Okay, well that's good, and you know we really need that touch. I want to talk. You know, Saturday just passed. I was celebrating the life of one of my aunts, Estelle Mitchell Marshall. I know about Estelle Marshall. Of course, my family last name is Marshall. I didn't even know her middle name was Mitchell. I guess that's her maiden last name. You know, and I want to just throw out, say, I guess a shout out. The president said a shout out the other day, so I guess Barack can say, President Barack said a shout out to the troops in Iraq, so I guess I can say the same thing. So I want to throw a shout out to the family, the Marshall family, to Anita, her daughter, and her son, Noah Marshall. I just want to say that, you know, your mother was a great woman, and, you know, we honored her. And I didn't know her. But my mother always talked about her sister-in-law and everything, you know. And blessed to God, Aunt Estelle lived to be 99 years old.
Oh, God bless her.
God bless her soul. I was headed to the King Center, and I went down, and my sister called me. I said, you know, I'm going to make sure I make it back for this year. You know, she said, well, you didn't know her that well. I said, no, I didn't know Aunt Estelle that well, but I want to celebrate two things. Well, three. She was my uncle's wife and gave birth to 3 kids for him, you know. Amen to that right there, and raised a studying good family. And two, I want to just celebrate her as a person. And you know, Aunt Estelle was, my mother used to tell me, was the kind of woman that if you borrowed her hat, she didn't want it back no more, you know. Yeah, you know, she'd see it on you and say, oh man, it's a nice hat, or it's look good on you, but you just well keep it. And I think I used to keep, my mother says, that way I used to borrow the hat sometimes. She says sometimes. So and then I just wanted to celebrate also, as I mentioned at the funeral, you know, just the celebration of the 99 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's 99 years.
That's an achievement.
Yeah, I couldn't think of another place to be. You know, I mean, a person that was able to escape the angel of death for 99 years, you know.
But just think of all the people she touched.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt, without a doubt, without a doubt. You know,
how many lives she may have turned around.
Without a doubt, yes. Strong sister, too, in the civil rights movement, you know, and her and my uncle and everything. So cheerio to Aunt Estelle. May God be with you and the family and everything. I want to also touch on, you know, this is Black History Month. This is the first week that the Town Talker has been on for Black History Month. Maybe one day we'll be able to be on every day. I'm just praying, and only God knows what's going to happen. I don't put things in my hands because, you understand me, I sure don't know. You understand me? I only know what He give me. You understand me? I don't take what others say. People come to me, Brother West, and say, it's like this and it's like that and whatever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to wait on God and let Him deliver me. And I have been, you know, anxiously waiting, and He has delivered me in many, many facets of life. So I will continue to count on His strength. I want to touch on also, since it is Black History Monday, the Jet magazine, February 9th issue, have race films on DVD. So the old films that was made for race, are called race films, was movies made for the African Americans during the first half of the 20th century. Because these movies were made for African Americans, they were called race films. these race films provided black people with images of the African American experience that were absent from Hollywood films. Race films allowed black actors and actresses to display their acting talent in serious dramatic roles. Now you can get them, watch them, of course, on DVD, and speed them up to DVD. Let's just hope that some of these race films, some of the race brothers and sisters are getting paid for it. You understand me? Because we sure need to be paid. But, you know, we all a family. We all a family. And I think that what we at the church, what's happening now in the town talk show where I preside over, have been saying since 2005 on Harvest Radio is that, you know, there's a responsibility that you have yourself. Today I have two guests. I'm going to start with Rebcca Kelly, a community voice here in Plainfield, and Bill West. Bill Weston. I'm sorry. I've been saying okay. West. It's West End. So the idea that we're here today and everything, and I'm going to start with Rebcca. What do it mean to you? And did you go down to the inauguration of Barack Obama?
It was a wonderful thing to be at that inauguration.
Is that right?
I never thought that I would ever see a black president, but I had in my dreams to come maybe in the next generation that there would be a black president. But I never thought that it would be this soon. Mm-hmm. And it was just to be there means a lot. Just to look to see where black people has come from.
Yes.
To where they are, where they have reached. Mm-hmm. As it says, segregation to the White House. And I know that was true. Mm-hmm. Because seeing Condoleezza Rice, and the reason why I pick her, because I've seen the position that she held in high office, and I know that there's going to be one day a black president. And I never thought in my dreams, as I said, I would see this soon. But I know he's going to it's going to take time to bring the country to where it was from where it is now. Because, you know, it's the recession and the downsizing of jobs is constantly, it's an everyday thing. It's an ongoing thing.
But Rebcca, if we could get just a little of that energy, if we can get 75% of that energy, that economic energy that we had during the Bill Clinton administration, wouldn't that be good for the country and the whole nation?
Oh, yes.
I often sit down and wonder about that. Just 75, that's all I'm asking. Is that a high number, Brother Weston?
I would say he's going to bring even more.
More than that.
I think I didn't go to Washington.
Sure.
But I certainly watched it and taped it on television to see the expressions on everyday man and woman
yes.
in the crowd.
Yes.
To see the exuberance, to see the absolute joy manifested in smiles and also in tears.
Yes. Yes.
People like our friend here who said they thought never in their lifetime would they see this come to fruition. To see it come before their eyes was something to be absolutely marveled at. And I think that we as black people knew it was going to happen.
Sure.
Because we have seen and we have met maybe your aunt, people who lived the life,
sure.
who should have been president of
yes.
the United
yes.
States,
yes.
but because of the situation here in America, they didn't. But we knew that they had everything that would make a great president.
A great leader, without a doubt.
I, for one, and I thought about this on Inauguration Day, I thought of family members, a brother, my mother, my father, my grandparents, who brought us up with the idea that there is nothing that we want that we couldn't do, that we just had to study hard mm-hmm. and work hard, and it would come to us. Sometimes my brother and I laughed about it, but we knew that we had to work very hard at whatever dream, that's the thing, whatever dream we had, we could bring it to fruition and don't let anyone take it away from us. And so to see the laughter and the crying on the faces of all people. There were white people in the crowd who
wept.
saw this, who wept, because they knew that America had made a turn,
That's right.
Yes.
and they were glad to be
In
there.
that number.
To see it
Well,
happen.
let me say this right here, because Rebecca, you were there with Jerry Green that night, November 4th,
Right.
and I tell you, when the cards came in and
Yes.
blue took over,
Yes.
and we all celebrated with Jerry and all of them down at
And the mayor, yeah.
at the mayor at the Democratic headquarters, and to me, I felt a sense of 1862. You understand me? When they knew in Georgia that the slaves was going to be free in 1863. Not that I felt like a slave. No, not at that one point. But the idea is to see that this hope was coming. And I think that that's what President Lincoln offered, a spirit of hope. People write many, things about him, but the idea that it was sanctioned under his administration, the freedom that was, that there was a level of hope. You understand me? And I could just feel it. I zoned out for a minute, and tried to go back to 1862. You understand me? What were they thinking? And they knowing January what was going to happen. What were they thinking, knowing that eventually it was all over? Slave masters getting on boats and going back to wherever the countries had come from because the business was no good, or just letting the slaves go or let them stay. Not that I felt like a slave, as you say, brother Weston. I always knew that we had the capability, the knowledge, you understand me, to be president. There have been many people before Barack Obama. But I want to ask you this right here, Bill Weston. Let me ask you this. Why are they so hard on Barack Obama about getting this stimulus package passed?
Because it's not just him turning over the terrible leaves, but it is a manifestation of a manhood that has been long denied. We know that in slavery, that there were slaves who really ran the mansion, ran the plantation,
Sure.
that had everything that the masters didn't have.
Sure.
And now they find, without any kind of hesitation, that here's a black man who says, and I love the way he ended his speech yesterday, and he said, in November, the voters voted for me. I won.
Right.
And now I am going to tell you all what we have to do to turn this terrible economic situation around. And isn't it ironical that God has brought him
Yes.
like a Messiah,
Yes, almost.
at the worst time in America's situation? Here comes the man, and his skin is black, and he's telling us, and these guys, even though they know what he's saying is right, they're going to give him a whole lot of trouble because they cannot.
Bill Weston, do you know how much the stimulus package that he's trying to pass would be? You know the price tag on it?
This morning I heard something like 90
It's 90-something
billion.
Yes.
But I didn't hear any yelling and crying when Congress very quickly passed the monies to bail out the big corporations
Like they
and the
always
banks.
Like they always do. They always bail out. But they always bail out. If we go back to '74, they bailed out Ford, General Motors, Chrysler. They always bail them out with Lee Iacocca's and things like that.
And to show the attitude of these people,
Yes.
here they are. They caused so many millions of people to lose their homes.
Yes.
To be unable to feed their children.
That's right.
And these guys are so selfish that they took billions in bonuses for failure.
Come on,
well,
now.
that's a joke.
It is nothing but a joke. It is a joke. That's from down on. Now, here's what I'm just trying to get these things together because I'm not an economic man. I'm trying to get a little understanding. Now, the other day I was scanning across the internet, and they said that vibration may be knocking years off the space station, the life of the space station, that international space station that they got. They spent $100 billion building this station, and which is some good in terms of medicine and medical research and things that they need to do. But now, Did nobody in Congress cry at the fact that they didn't know how to start the rockets up to move them? Now they moved the space station, and they think it caused some kind of structural damage to it, so it's going to have to probably,